Working with natural dyes and with plant-based dyes, it's really a wonderful way to participate, but to have accessibility to beauty just from what's in your home already or growing in your yard, and to feel connected and to think about what byproducts or waste products that you might not think twice about that could become hues that are meaningful because they connect you to a meal with your family, or to a walk with your partner, or just different ways of having a memory and being able to pull those memories into the palettes themselves. I'm Sasha Duerr, and I am a plant dyer, an author, and a teacher. Today we'll be working with avocado pits, rambutan peels, and gardenia seeds. When the gardenia has finished flowering, you can start to see at the base, either the flower will drop off, or you can pick gardenias and enjoy them as a bouquet. And then when you're finished, or the flower has finished its cycle, you can use that in-between part before you compost the rest. And you can see, if you just break it open with your fingers, you can see the richness of the color that's in there. With avocados, you can use both the rinds and you can use the pits. So it's a great way to utilize some of the waste that might come, or the byproducts of working with avocados. And as you're creating your avocado toast, or some kind of avocado dish, it's great as you can just kind of save the seeds as you go along. And avocado pits are pretty easy to use, as I was saying, because you don't have to add anything else to the dye bath. You can just use the pits themselves, which make it a really good, easy kitchen compost dye to work with. And all you have to do is just rinse them off really well, because they'll have a lot of oils from the avocado, and sometimes that can block the dye and the fiber. All you want to do is keep boiling, just simmer it and simmer for as long as it takes to get that water to a bright pink, to a bright red. You'll see the color starts to blue, and that's when it's a good point to use it as a dye. Rambutans are a wonderful byproduct dye to work with. You can take the rambutan peels, and even just with your fingers, just break them up into smaller bits, and that allows a little more surface area and a little bit more extraction of the molecules, just like with cooking. And then again, you're extracting the dye by just bringing it up to a simmering point, and then simmer for about 15 to 20 minutes. Even just with one part of a plant, like say a peel from a rambutan, you can shift that color through many different shades depending on what fibers you work with. I love working with, and they work the best, clean natural fibers, but you can even pull things from your own closet, or find items that may have been pre-loved and add them into these dye baths and give them a new refresh. So after simmering for 20 to 40 minutes, you can take your fibers out of the dye bath, and usually using tongs or heat and water resistant gloves, because it could be real hot, and then rinsing it out with a pH neutral soap. If you've made a lot of dye, or you want to just keep letting your fibers steep, because just like a tea, longer is stronger. I love using big glass jars. You can let your fibers steep overnight and get them to the next shade or level of hue, or you can even let them steep for a few weeks and then pull them out when you're ready. So if you've made a batch and you don't want to pour the rest out after you've dyed your initial fibers or your project, you can go ahead and save that dye and then come back to it. It's something so accessible that you can do it just right in your own backyard or in your kitchen and with your family or your kids. It's a great way to just work with what you have, and it's also a wonderful way to give deeper meaning to the whole process, that there's a way that you can really go into the cycle and both feel more meaning through the activity itself, but also through the beauty that comes